You might feel very tempted in those few weeks before your wedding to jump on the latest crash diet that you've either seen online or maybe read about in some magazine that your favorite celebrity is following. But little do you know that that is going to have absolutely devastating effects on your ability to reach your weight loss goals for your wedding, but also on your ability to maintain a healthy body weight after the wedding is done. I'm Shannon and I'm with SkinnySexyBride.com. Crash diets are something that so many women are tempted to do simply because they're very appealing. Who doesn't want to lose 10 pounds in a week? Most women, if you tell them this is what they could do, they're going to jump on it like crazy. But what they don't realize is what these crash diets are actually going to do to them. The first problem that crash dieting has is that it's going to basically cause your metabolism to plummet. If you're someone who has a maintenance calorie intake of say 1,500 calories a day and you use that crash diet even for a 10-day period, you could decrease your maintenance calorie intake by like 200 or 300 calories at least. The body is very good at adapting to how much food it's getting in, and as soon as it's adapted, your weight loss is going to stop. So if you're using these very low calorie diets, that very low calorie intake now becomes your maintenance calorie intake. So unless you plan on eating that little bit of food every day for the rest of your life, this isn't something you can maintain for the long haul. So that right there is a huge reason why you must avoid these diets. The second big problem that crash diet is going to have is that it's going to actually cause you to burn off your muscle mass rather than your fat mass. Your body is very primed to survive, and in times when it's not getting a lot of food, it looks at the situation and says, what can I do to keep myself alive? Muscle mass is very metabolically active, meaning that it's burning up far more calories each day, more energy, than say your body fat is. So when your body is in a situation where it's not getting a lot of fuel, it wants to rid all that muscle mass as fast as possible. It realizes that the muscle is eating up the energy it's not taking in, and the more energy it's eating up, the faster it's basically going to die. So your body is going to be like, I'm going to save the fat and burn off the muscle. For you though, this is not working in your favor because your muscle mass is actually what keeps you looking firm and fit and really sexy, which the look you want to maintain on your wedding day. So if you're losing muscle and keeping your fat, it's not going to be a pretty picture. So that's something you really need to avoid. And crash dieting, unfortunately, that's exactly what it does to you. And then the next thing is, speaking of this muscle mass loss and the slower metabolism, say after your wedding day and you come off this crash diet and you're like, oh, okay, wedding's over, I can eat normal again. Now you have a big problem on your hands. Your body is burning very few calories every day. You don't have a lot of muscle mass burning more calories. So basically you're going to be packing on pounds fast. And the pounds you're packing on is not going to be the muscle that you lost. It's going to be more body fat. So now you have less muscle mass and way more body fat. And that is going to translate into a very soft looking body. So if you want to think long term and you're planning on a fancy honeymoon and you want to come back looking your best, crash dieting is not going to deliver the results. So that's another reason you need to avoid that. And finally, the last reason why crash dieting is such a bad thing for brides to go on is simply because it's going to cause a lot more issues with food. Anytime you're cutting out so many food groups and you're being super restricted on yourself, it is going to have a mental impact on you. And if you're putting all these foods on the cannot eat, on the banned list, your mind is going to really start to obsess about those foods. And then once you start adding them back, you may start to get a little bit out of control. And before you know it, you could develop some sort of eating disorder or binge eating problems. A lot of brides, after the weddings, and they emotionally eat just because they felt so deprived before the wedding. So those are all big things that you need to be aware of. And it's really important that you maintain a healthy relationship with food, and you're focusing on eating in a way that's going to set you up for life, and something that allows you to enjoy your meal still and feel satisfied, but still allows you to reach your goal weight. So that's really what we're trying to promote in the program that we're using with Skinny Sexy Bride. You're still going to lose a lot of weight, but you're not going to have any of these food issues developing. You're going to maintain your metabolism. You're just going to see a lot better results overall. So think twice before you use that crash diet. I know they sound appealing and you may read about them in magazines and it seems like every celebrity is using them, but they really, really aren't going to be the best way to go for you. So keep that in mind. I'm Shannon Clark with Skinny Sexy Bride. Make sure you check back more for all the great information and tips that you can use to make sure you look your best on your wedding day.